So we made a huge milestone yesterday by getting the body on the chassis and not needing the crane anymore. And that lasted almost 18 hours before I had to put it back on the crane. Not very happy about it. What's up? This is Casey from Caseyscustoms. We are back on the beautiful 1965 Mustang, and as you can tell, we get the older body put on the newer chassis. Let's go! So the last time we were on this build, I had the body put on, but it was not fitting very well at all. We still needed to do a bunch of trimming on the late model chassis. I went ahead and I've taken the 65 body off. I should have footage of that, but I might have lost it. I don't know. If I do have that footage, here it is. So we got the body popped off, and we're gonna go in here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim, basically everything I was hitting was anything on the other side of this piece of metal. So all this needs to go away, all the way down. I'm gonna go ahead and trim all that. I'm gonna take some measurements. I have a feeling it's still gonna be too wide, so we might end up doing is actually widening the 65 body, which is not easy to do at all. It's a huge deal. I've done it before in the past, but I'm gonna take some measurements and it might just be what we have to do. Now, when I say widening the body, I'm not talking about fender flares. I'm talking about basically cutting the Mustang down the middle and widening it. It's a pain in the butt. Glass doesn't want to fit anymore. Your hood doesn't fit anymore. Your trunk doesn't fit anymore. There's kind of ways to cut around it. It's just a huge pain in the butt. I've done it before, but they were just giant builds that took thousands of hours, so I really don't want to do that. But I am slowly finding out why whenever people do these chassis swaps, they do a 68 or 67 Mustang, because they're just a little bit wider. They're not a ton wider, but they are just a little bit wider. So yeah, 65 on top is really tricky. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna cut some shit. I'm gonna make something happen by the end of this video, even if that means cutting the 65 right in half. So let's get to work. Okay, we got basically everything cut as far as I can with keeping the stock dash, which I want to use. I think I could take the dash out and maybe shave a little bit more, but then I'd have to cut it, which I did that on the last build and I didn't love it. On the 51, we ended up cutting way in here, and it doesn't really look right. I don't love it. So I got all this shaved down as much as I can. It's still super solid. I got no flex in anything, which is awesome. We're gonna be adding more structure. I realize I've cut a lot of structure out. We're gonna add it. Whenever I do these, you don't just, on a unibody anyway, welding the 65 body back on top doesn't replace the strength we lost, so we'll have to go in there and add. I like to run square tubing in some places. On one of them I did years ago, I actually ran a bar just right across the back. There was almost like a little mini roll bar that you couldn't see. I don't think I'll have to do that, but if I have to, I will. If anything seems like it's not strong enough, I'll add a roll cage. I'll just do whatever I have to make sure we have plenty of strength in it, but I think we're all right with where we're at. I got everything cut as far as I can. I'm like an inch off in a couple spots. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come in here and shave every little bit that I can. I don't know that I'm gonna make up a full inch, but I got some spots that need cut, and we'll go ahead and lift it up and try and put it back on and see where we're at. But most likely it looks like we're gonna have to widen this body, but I don't know, we'll see. With the cowl kind of cut out, it'll flex a little bit, but obviously if it does flex enough, my windshield won't fit, so I don't know, I might have to figure that out. I do need to cut my wheel wells. I have to actually raise the wheel wells up on this because the body's gonna sit down a lot more than where it used to be. So my wheel well will actually be in here. I got some brand new quarter panels coming from Holley Performance. Well, it's actually from Scott Drake, one of Holley's subsidiaries. So I'm gonna be putting new quarter panels on anyway, so I'm gonna come in here and just cut way out so I can get the rim up in there wherever I want it. And then whenever we put the new quarters on, I'll fit them so it looks right. I'm gonna bring this over there, cut it up a little bit, and then we will see what happens. Now that is cut up if I've ever seen it. Holy shit. I think since there's almost no structure left, I think it'll flex the little bit of width I need, but I don't know. We're gonna find out real quick. If I throw this up there and it still isn't cutting it, we're just gonna go right there and probably right across there. But let's get her in the air, see what happens. Boy, it's right there. That ain't bad. Whew, I think I can actually get it inside. That'll do. Woo! All right, I gotta get it inside. Okay, found the key. Okay. I just found out I can't go much lower than it already is. It looks perfect, huh? Okay, so I unintentionally just learned something. This is as low as it can go. So even though the back is lower, I wanted to try and make the cow lower. I'm not gonna be able to do that. Gotta go up. The great news is, I'm tired of listening to that beeper. That's one thing that's not great. The great news is, gigantic rocker panel that everybody else seems to make. They'll have like this 8-inch rocker panel. It looks like mine will only need to be about an inch bigger than stock, which is awesome because I really don't like that look. I'm not calling anybody out who has done this, you know, but most people, they're up 4 or 5 inches from there and they just make this giant like 10-inch rocker panel instead of the stock 4-inch, and I hate the way it looks. Does not look good to me. So super happy. This should not need to get back up on the crane. So we will be able to continue this build inside the shop, which is awesome because it's getting hot again. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
The next day.
Check this out from the beautiful people at Holly. Oh yeah. We got so many parts. We got all the parts. Yeah, that's a big box. I mean, talk about perfect timing. I just ruined the stock quarter panels. I mean, really couldn't have better timing. I love that. The other side is still bag ordered, which is fine. I'm certainly not worried about getting my quarter panel fitment right now. We're still trying to get the body attached to the chassis. So what I'm gonna do now is get a front fender, throw a front fender up here and see where we are in relation to the wheel well. I know for a fact I'm a little bit too far forward for the rear, but the front is more important than the rear because I don't really care, since technically I can put the quarter wherever I want it in the back. I can kind of do that in the front. You can always cut your wheel well and move it where you want it, but I'd rather have it where it needs to be in the front. They look kind of cool pushed back. In the rear, they don't look as cool whenever you move them around the front. So let's throw a fender on and see what happens. So we made a huge milestone yesterday by getting the body on the chassis and not needing the crane anymore. And that lasted almost 18 hours before I had to put it back on the crane. Not very happy about it, but hey, it is what it is. So I'm hanging up here and I'm trying to slide the body, you know, back and forward to get my front fender fitting, and I'm just catching here and it's not letting me go in the way I want it to. I'm also catching on this corner a little bit. I can't get rid of that bolt because that bolt holds my dash, but I got, you know, ½ inch into that bolt. I'm gonna shave all that down on both sides and then get rid of this corner. And then I'm gonna come in on the Mustang and shave those down a little bit. I mean, I'm literally talking about like a 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch here, but I think that'll help. After I do that, I'm gonna throw it back on there and I think we should be good. The thing I'm running into with it being back where it should be, this cowl is in front of the 65 windshield. So I have to have it up a little bit farther than it should be, which is fine. We'll just move the wheel wells around a little bit. But with that being the case, this has to be shaved down if this is gonna basically kind of share the same space as the 65 windshield. All of that probably doesn't make any sense at all, but I'm still trying to explain what I'm doing. Basically, we gotta cut some shit. So let's do that. Hey, so whichever one of you that said it's too cold, I wish it was summer, and you brought, you know, Satan's asshole here to Missouri, I want you to know your mom's a hoe. And also, I hope when you wake up every day, you step on Legos. Yeah, I've been working for 30 minutes and I'm covered in sweat. It's like 100 something degrees. It's May. It's May. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, whatever. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked because I was hot. I have officially cut all this down as much as possible, basically. I've grinded everything as much as I can. Came in here, cut this, grinded this. If it doesn't work this time, and I think it will, but if it doesn't work this time, I honestly don't know what to do other than widen the Mustang. It's really only around the dash. I'm good in the back, I'm good in the middle. Let's see what happens. Triggered the rollover sensor. I had to reset it. That's hilarious. It's not bad. Needs to come down a little bit, but I like where the fender's at. Okay, I'm gonna put a tack weld on this so it doesn't move, and then we'll try and get the passenger side lined up, because right now it's just wanting to do this back and forth. So we need to definitely get something stuck, something welded, so that we can move the rest of it around. But I don't hate that right there. It's a little bit higher than I want, but it's probably gonna have to stay there, and then we'll just drop it with the suspension, which is fine. Okay, got the cowl tacked. The back is still sagging a bunch. We're gonna have to fix that. Now the fun part of this is you have to constantly second guess yourself and take 100 measurements and you go, oh, it looks great, perfect. You do a tack weld, then you walk past it and you go, that side looks higher, then you cut the tack weld, remeasure. I've been doing that for the last hour because I am a crazy person. Also, I hate how high it is compared to the two rockers. I've probably bitched about that 10 different times in videos. I think I probably bitched about it in this video, and sure enough, we got a pretty big gap. It's not crazy big compared to what other people's are, but I'm not happy with that. We're definitely gonna fix that. I don't know how we're gonna fix it yet, but we will do something other than make a giant rocker panel. I don't know that. I was thinking maybe we do like roll bars or whatever those are called. I don't know, that like rock crawlers use, have something like that under it. I don't know. We will put a pin in that for now. I'm not happy about it, but I cannot go any lower and still use this dash. And even if I got to taking measurements and looking at them with the dash out, even if I took this dash out, I still wouldn't be able to lower it because you would just have to basically bring steering and everything down, and then you wouldn't be able to get in the damn thing. So we're gonna stick with that for now. We will adjust later, I promise. But for now, I need to jack up the rear end because it is way down. We need to jack it up, and then I will make some sort of mounts to hold the back. I'd like to tie it in to these shock towers in the back if I can, because they are very, very heavy duty. So we got to figure out how to do that. Kind of funky to get used to, but holy cow. We can get used to that, baby. Whoa, that's not bad. Oh my God, look at the smoke. Look at the smoke just lingering because there's no air in here. Oh, that's wild. Mustang has its own little cloud. You got a little cloud, baby. It's so cute. Listen, I know it looks like a train wreck right now, but the 65 body is mounted to the chassis, which is awesome. Super excited about it. We definitely have some work to do. I hate this gap here. I completely understand why people do the rocker panel thing, but I kind of hate that. Is that peeing? Oh, my bad. Air conditioner's taking a piss. No big deal. I completely understand why people do that. I hate it. We're gonna come up with some idea. Hopefully you guys give me an idea. Shoot some comments, because if I don't have something cool there, I'm literally gonna cut down the middle of the body and add a 3-inch strip. Usually when you section a body, you make it smaller. You know, you're chopping the body. Well, I will add a strip to it before I'll have some giant rocker, because I just hate the way it looks. I was thinking we could do something. Do I have pipe here? Nope, not really. I have some old roll cage tubing. Obviously, I need to get more, but we could do something like that where you come out almost like they do on drift carts and stuff. I don't know. We're gonna have to put a pin in that. I don't really have enough steel. I need to get some more steel to continue mounting everything to make it a lot more solid than it is. Right now, I just basically have it tacked in the cowl, and then I have some square tubing back here in the back holding it. What I do want to do, though, I want to get my back panel back put on. I think we should be okay with that. I think it clears. I haven't double checked yet. I'd like to put that on, and then maybe put something solid mounting that back panel to, you know, this frame back here somewhere. So let's hope this still fits. I think it will, but let's check. Oh, I need to take something off the muffler first. Crap. Looks like it's gonna fit though. Check it out. Back panel is in. Got a couple more pipes put in. I can't move it. She is actually mounted pretty solid. Might need a little tweaking here and there, but I'm definitely good. Everything is measuring level and looks good. I was really happy that this actually bolted up because I thought I might have to trim some more, but that looks okay, which is awesome. I went ahead and came up here and welded it a little bit more. I just got a little tab put in there. The only reason I won't go completely solid with any of the mounts yet is because I might change my mind when I get to fit in my fenders. I shouldn't. They should be fine. They're kind of where they need to be, but I'll leave that open. Also, the quarter panels, I'm gonna be lowering this car a bunch, so I'm not gonna do the quarter panels yet until I get it lowered, because technically when I lower it, that should push that fender way up in there. So if we need to raise the quarter panel, which is the plan, to raise the fender lips all around, we will be doing that afterward, basically. I don't wanna get them set and then have to cut them for turning radiuses in the front or anything in the back. So probably go ahead and order my lowering kit now. Might not show up till next week, I don't know, but I definitely need to get more metal before I do any more mounting. I basically ran out of square tubing, pretty much ran out of sheet metal, so I'm gonna go ahead and get some of that coming before the next episode. But in celebration of it technically being a 65 Mustang again, I think we should do a burnout. It'd be kind of fun, so let's go do that. So this is my first burnout in a 65 Mustang, so I'm pretty excited. Tastes like rubber. Oh, that's a doozy. Oh man, that's so much fun. This is a 6-cylinder, man. We're putting a Coyote motor. This thing's gonna be stupid whenever it has a Coyote in it. All right, I'm dying. Thank you guys very much for watching. It's actually been a day or two since I last filmed in here. It still reeks like rubber and burnout smoke, which is kind of great. I kind of like that. I'm excited on how well it's running. I'm excited that everything is still kind of working. Even though we won't be using this motor and transmission, it's nice that basically all your functions are still working the way they should. I'm really happy that we got the body on. It's mounted very solid. She's not going anywhere. I'm not in love with how high it is, but we're gonna go ahead and work on that in the next coming episodes. Also wanted to say, stay with me here for next week. This is going to be my weekly build series here on YouTube. The last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of 54 content. We've had some Porsche content here and there. Basically, all that was just kind of button up some projects before we really started focusing on this 65. I will be taking this car to Holly Ford Fest, which I believe is at the end of the summer, and we have a lot of work to do before we get there. So we're gonna be hitting this one every single Tuesday with Mustang content. Our Sunday bonus videos will be a mixture of everything, but I'm definitely gonna be focusing on this. So stay tuned if you're wanting to see more of this build. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff I tell you at the end of videos, and check out some of my other videos. Peace. Love ya. I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving.